talk for a couple of minutes on picking up some of the points you've already heard and draw together a couple of threads, I think, looking through the lens of the information architecture. Information architecture is fundamental to digital transformation, and digital transformation is like the top priority for most of our end user clients, and indeed most of the end user organizations around Europe. We think it's a board level issue. It's going to be the top priority for something like 2/3 of all European organizations this year and going forward. A lot of that is driven by data. You don't need me to tell you that the amounts of data being generated within and by businesses and used by businesses is going through the roof. But just to put a bit of context on that, a lot of it's being driven by mobile phones. Angela's already talked about mobility, and Roman's mentioned Internet of Things. To put that in context, we're predicting 30 billion devices connected to the internet by the end of 2020. That's 10 times the number of mobile devices connected today, all chattering away with each other, generating information, communicating with each other and with us. So vast amounts of data are being produced and going to produce, and this is going to drive a massive expansion in spending on big data and business analytics, software, services and hardware. So this is the kind of thing that's going on in the world. Businesses looking for new opportunities, new ways of doing business, thanks to the vast amount of data that's being produced by all these sensors, as well as new customer engagement thanks to mobile computing, social data, that kind of thing. So, large opportunity in big data analytics, software, services, hardware, and quite a lot of that is going to come through security spending. And this is why, because over the last 15, 20, and 30 years, there's been one fundamental, unchanging thing in information architecture, which is that all databases are being relational, and all information architectures were designed on the premise that you'd have a central relational database, an enterprise data warehouse, and an ERP system running relational. That's no longer true. People are using NoSQL databases, they're using Hadoop databases. There's a whole lexicography of new interoperating open source products that are being used. Flume, Swoop, Hadoop, Spark, Pig, Hive, all these things. It's a very different world for the information enterprise architect, and all of that needs to be secured. You need to secure data in motion, data at rest, data in the cloud, data on premise, data at the edge, and data in the center. We think that by 2020, 40% of all analytics will be done at the edge of the network, not in the center, because you can't bring all of that vast amount of data into the middle if the bandwidth just isn't there, and the storage costs will be astronomical. So you need to secure all of that where it is. So to pick up what Carla said, people are looking for holistic solutions to security, something that can cope with this amazing complexity that's being built. And so they're looking for you guys to produce those kinds of holistic solutions to help them with this data. So just 3 things I think would help you being successful in this new world, this new marketplace. First of all, you need to understand the emerging information architecture based on these big data technologies. Understand the lexicography and the all of these different terms like Pig and Hive and Swoop and Flume and Hadoop. Secondly, I think you need to be able to explain to your clients how you can tackle, all or part of that emerging landscape. What's your position in that? Where do you fit? And thirdly, you need to understand who you're going to talk to. Something like half of all big data projects we see at the moment are driven by IT because they're an efficiency play. When you've got all this big data floating around, As I say, storing it all in a relational database is like last century's approach. It's too expensive, too complex, too rigid. So people are bringing in big data technologies for an efficiency drive. But the other 50% are based on business drivers. They're looking at big data to drive new processes, new ways of engaging with customers, that kind of thing. So there's a business debate to be had. And you need to be prepared to talk about business and business drivers, as well as IT and IT drivers, even when you're selling security and security solutions.